Hello everybody, welcome back to Nikki Zick Paints. I'm Nikki Zick and we're painting a painting of a woman looking out of a rose bush. Actually, I was thinking on the break that maybe it could be Eve looking out of a rose bush in Eden. Isn't that something to think about? So with that being said, next I drew in very lightly, let's see if you can see it, very faintly, some image of the face so that way I could follow it with my paintbrush, because as we know as artists, we cannot undo the paint. Well, some of it we could lift, but heavy paint we can't redo and lift. So right now I don't have a flesh color per se, so I'm using between red ochre and yellow ochre, and just using a very watered down version of both. And I'm just going to get that in there. I know it's not going to be the perfect color, but okay, so now I'm going to go into the details, but I'm going to blend them in. It'll make sense once you see. So here's the eye. Okay, now I just did I'll do a little bit on the chin because we're going to add that. Okay, now that I just did an indication of the features, I'm going to use a larger brush around 6 round. I actually used the number 2 round to do what I just did, the outlines. And now I'm going to use a wet brush, not totally wet, but wet, just damp, and go gently around the lines that I painted to fill in the flesh color of this face. Depending on the flesh, you have to mix different colors, red ochre, maybe some raw umber to make it a little more browner. But my complexion is fair, and the paintings that I do of women, I try to say that they're self-portraits because I look at them as I look at my face. So with that being said, let's get back to the painting. And as you see, as I'm bringing in more water, the paint is starting to diffuse. We'll get back to the chin and the neck. Bring it into the pine leaves. Let's diffuse this nose a bit. Bring it out to the cheek. The lips. I just did the outline of the lips. I will be accentuating them more later. Watch out for the green of the evergreen fern. Pine needles coming out. Bring some flesh up into the green up here. Okay, a little up here. Okay, we'll bring it into the side. I don't want to get the green and let the green bleed, that's for sure. Okay. Here's the neck. And some of these diffused areas we're going to go in and add a little bit finer details. So right now I'm just using the brush to blend the lines I made for a flesh face. A flesh colored face, not a flesh face. What's a flesh face? A little more up here. The face. So if you're liking the way this video is coming along, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you'll be alerted for future videos that I post. Okay, here we go. I think I'm going to have to take another break while this is drying. So let me get the most out of this color. And sometimes I do this just to get a little more paint so I can spread it around. And you just take some clean water and just blend it around so I have accents on her cheeks. Let's go a little bit under the chin. Okay. I see one hole. Where's my dagger brush? I filled in the top with some leaves, if you noticed, to cover her forehead a little more. Okay. All right. I will let her face dry, and then we'll come back and do the fine line details of the eyes, nose, and mouth. See you then.